This conference will now be recorded.
Hey everyone, uh, we will talk about DevOps in this particular video. Okay, so now what we basically do is in DevOps, right? So GitHub is something will be coming into picture in DevOps. So let me share my screen here. Okay, so basically what I will do is if you can look at right. Uh, okay, this is where you start your GitHub. Okay, first pwd your present working directory, you go to your local desktop. Here basically if you see how it works, okay, how it works with the master and how it works with the another start that you've been doing, right? So before we understand more about this GitHub, okay, in DevOps, GitHub is something which is really important. You have to understand. So now the master is something which you need to get into all the stuff again. Okay, so that's all I have in this video. Thank you. So I hope you saw my, I'm sharing the screen and you're able to see this also, right? So this is how it works actually. Okay, so all right, yeah.
This conference will now be recorded.
Hello everyone, welcome all of you for the demo on DevOps. Okay, so I'm going to create a playlist for DevOps as well. So this is a demo that we will be discussing on DevOps, and more in detail about DevOps. We will be understanding in the coming videos. All right. So in this particular session, we will discuss about what DevOps actually, and it's a kind of demo on DevOps. Someone who wants to learn, someone who wants to understand DevOps more, you can actually try and do that. Okay, so let me share my screen here. Basically, DevOps. Okay, in case if you have any questions, also like we will take the questions at the end. All right. Okay, so let's understand DevOps first. Okay, so you will any questions if you have, you can ask me. Okay, but initially, just to avoid the background disturbance, right, I will keep all of you in mute by default. Okay, so okay, once the first you know uh, uh, couple of sessions we do it, right, 30 minutes or 40 minutes, right, the course will be done. Then we will definitely take up the questions whatever you have after some time. Okay, so everybody please pay attention. Okay, so the basic part of the demo is to understand better, to understand the course better. DevOps is basically it's exactly you can say that like it takes very uh, initially it takes very small time, or kind of understanding for you. Okay, to understand it takes a little bit of time, don't worry about it. We will help you to understand. We will help you on that as well. Okay, the actual tools and the components of DevOps, like as you see here. Okay, so basically why do you want to learn DevOps? Okay, if someone is asking this question, right, saying why you want to learn DevOps, okay, what would be the answer? What will you answer them, right? The main thing that all we have to understand is generally it's having a huge job market. We all know that, right? That's the common answer we give. Okay, we, since you don't know anything of DevOps, you're learning DevOps. Why? Because it has got a very good job market. Okay, that's the kind of answer anyone would give basically. There are a lot of openings, of course. It's the thing is, the market is very very open actually. You've got a lot of opportunities to attend some that is why we are attending these classes. Maybe you can say that. Okay, if you have seen some videos on YouTube or anywhere generally, okay, they say that DevOps is a combination of deployment activity and operations activity, right? So I hope everyone is able to see my screen, right? See, here we will understand what DevOps basically. Okay, so the common area that we all looking into is that DevOps is a combination of deployment and operations. All right. See here, for example, you this is what HSBC Bank, for example, if you take, right. So here what generally it does is, okay, HSBC Bank, where they use it, right, Wipro or any other banks for that matter, any other companies, right, any other organizations for that matter. Okay, so you will how the DevOps will be playing a important role the uh, in these areas. Okay, we will try and understand that. Okay, now the companies, which is primarily, if you see here, Wipro is a software service provider. So imagine that Wipro is accepted. Okay, they may sign the contract with HSBC or something. So where you think Wipro will start? Okay, that would be the first stage that Wipro would be requesting. For example, if you see here, the business analyst from the Wipro will talk to a HSBC guy, and they will have internal discussions. Okay, now if you see what exactly happens here is, okay, so what are the different functionalities that you require, all that stuff you will have to, you will be able to understand that first. Like first you have to get this analysis done in the initial phase between HSBC and the Wipro, HSBC and Wipro, the whatever the organization that you have here. Okay, they will try to convert into a software environment, um, okay, into creating this application. Okay, HSBC Bank need an application, they take the help of Wipro. Okay, database should be created in that technology. Okay, do we have the necessary resources? You need to check that. Okay, the application will be designed, and you need to check the resources. Accordingly you can do the analysis, right? It will go to the next stage, which is known as a design planning, where your senior management, senior programmer, know that the charts, like simple to see, like for example, directly if you want to doesn't go to that particular application. First of all, um, what I'll do, I'll ask a civil engineer, if in case if I want to build a home, right? I can't directly go and do it. First we'll take the idea, we'll take the opinion, we'll take, we'll contact a civil engineer first, right? It is easy for us. I mean, like we'll get clear overview if you can get the design first, right? Getting design is really important, and then coding, testing. Okay, after you get this, and then generally you go to building, how to build it. Okay, you need to go coding and then designing. Okay, it is more easy for you to understand, right? This is a step by step process. Generally this is, you can call it as SDLC as well, software development life cycle. This is almost the same. Okay, and based on this designing, it will go to the next stage, right, which is coding, testing in the SDLC point of view. Then it will go to the next stage, right, which is known as like testing, if it is a Selenium or whatever, the manual testing, doesn't matter what it is. Okay, but the application is tested, then it will go for something to call user acceptance testing. There's something called UAT, right, where the client, in our case it is HSBC Bank. Okay, client will review it. The client would come, they will check whether it's created according to their requirement or not. They will check that, right? And if it is done, it will go to the final stage, which we call it as a release and maintenance. Now what I have I have drawn on my screen. Okay, just give me a minute. This is something that you all have to familiar with. Probably we have been studying this since our college days. Maybe let me just show you that. Mm, college days, right? Basically we call this as a software development life cycle. Okay, we would have studied this already, and that too we call this as waterfall model. Okay, now this was the way that they are using. Okay, So here, let me just give you a template here. Okay, so in which software it was developed more than a decade, right? Decade back. What is decade? More than 15 years basically. This was the process that organizations used to follow. Okay, so now if you see here, lot of better models we have, okay, created. A lot of models have been created. Finally, majority of the organizations are currently using a specific model, which is called as a agile scrum model, right? Agile scrum model. So what is the agile scrum model? Okay, how it works, see here, that we need to understand before we can go into the actual thing, actual DevOps. Okay, DevOps part. So there you go. In case if you want to understand more, see here, please see this. Just look at my screen. Okay, now we are discussing something called as agile scrum process. Okay, why we are discussing, you should understand it now, because agile scrum process, what generally happens is the complete software is divided into models. Okay, imagine this is the internet banking software that are uh, we are talking about, right? So this internet banking software obviously has some functionalities, right? Some functionalities. Imagine the first functionality is loans, for example. Okay, the second functionality is credit card. Okay, loans, credit card. Okay, or anything. Okay, the second functionality is credit card or debit card, you can say. Similarly, we have something called online money transfer, etc. Okay, if it is there, basically the agile model, what it tells is it tells you to take the uh, develop it basically. Okay, develop that particular functionality and test it, deliver it to the client within the time span, maybe it is 2 or 4 weeks, whatever generally. And this is the time span of 2 or 4 weeks, if we take it as, right? So we call this as a script, sorry, sprint is generally the time taken for a deploying, right? So sprint is the process, we all know what is sprint, right? Sprint is the process which takes generally to deploy. Okay, for example, testing, delivering. Okay, testing, delivering one of the functionality to the client, such a way that client can start using it. Okay, which means by end of 4 weeks, this loans functionality would be delivered to the client. Okay, this is what we are trying to do basically. Okay, the client can deploy that functionality and then start working on it. Ante kada, they can start working on it. So this is a general process what happens. Of course, there are a lot of inner things which happens. Okay, we doesn't know, there are many things happening inside within the organization, which we will have um, special discuss, if which we need to maybe specially discuss on it in detail. But once the first sprint is over, then they will start working on the second model. Okay, once it is over, they start working on the second model, which is maybe you can say in this case creating cards. Okay, create cards. Then they will ask on the third module. Okay, this is the step by step process basically. Now friends, if you see here, all uh, unnecessarily raising the hands. Okay, not in this case. If you want to raise a hand, like you can just tell it. Okay, okay, sorry. So this is what generally happens. Okay, the sprints point of view we are talking about, I hope you are able to understand it. Okay, uh, okay, just give me a minute here. uh, okay, so this is the general process, guys. Right? Please understand the DevOps. So now, for example, let's say if it is done and delivered to the client. Okay, let's say if it is done and delivered to the client in such a way, what happens is the client can actually start using it. Okay, you say that you have done it and you have delivered to the client. Now client started using it. Now this is the common process which happens in the agile thing. Okay, this is what happens in the agile thing basically. Okay, if it is a particular process that you're following for the agile model, this is what generally happens. Okay, now we always generally what we do, we always say that agile promises quicker, right? What is because the process itself goes little quicker, right? They do it fast as far as the process is concerned. Okay, so this is what we started off using the use case. So basically what is the scenario we have taken here? We said that HSBC is asking Wipro to develop a software for their internet banking. Okay, do you think Wipro would do that free of cost? No. Why should Wipro do it? Because they definitely charge it, right? Obviously no, right? Wipro will charge some money for it. So imagine Wipro is saying that, okay, I require $3 million for creating this software, and I also require 6 months of time. Obviously, you need some time. I mean, they request for time as well, right? For the client for creating this internet banking, I need a specific period of time. Now, you tell me, why do you think HSBC is willing to spend so much money on that software is the question. Okay, why do you think, it is going to spend so much money? Because because HSBC, basically it is a requirement for them. Okay, it is the requirement for them because what could be the reason? The reason HSBC might feel that once this application is deployed, it comes to running condition, we can give better service to the customer. That is why it is. And and thereby generate more revenue. It's just a common sense that we all know, right? The process of investing in the business is why do you want to spend more, uh, why do you want to spend more money generally in the business? To get more money, to get profit, to earn maybe double the money that you spend, right? Why do you think we invest somewhere? Wherever you want to invest, why do you think you get some profit, right? So that is why once we get returns like profits, right, we use it for the business. No one will do business for getting loss, right? It's everybody do business to get profits. Okay, we want to do business because we want to run this business for a long time. Okay, we are expecting some profits. But in a transactional process, generally what happens is in waterfall model, that I was shown you some time back, right? You will initially is not it's not true that HSBC has spent $3 million, 3 million. Okay, also not for 6 months. Okay, they may have waited for some period of time. Only once they complete the software, once it get released, they can start generating revenue on it. But currently what is happening in an agile scenario, by the end of the month, you are getting one working version of the software. I mean, little bit, some part of it basically. By the end of the second month, you are getting another component. By the end of third month, you will get the third component, right? So rather than waiting for you, rather than waiting, rather than waiting for 6 months for the entire software to release, we are just winding up the activity basically. Okay, things are becoming much more easier. You don't need to wait for a 6 months basically. By the end of 1 or 2 months, you will get the functionality deployed and start generating revenue on it. Okay, I hope you're understanding it. By the end of the second month, okay, one or more functionality, if it's okay to make it much simpler, I'll just give you a simple example here. See, when you come to a you know uh, when you come to say that you want to learn DevOps, okay, what I will just say that, imagine this is just a, you just have approach to learn DevOps through these sessions, whatever basics that are free for the first 2 weeks. But just imagine a scenario like, you are taking your you're taking my sessions, and they are saying that the course duration is 2 months and some xyz fee amount. Now, why do you think some would spend so much? If I said 2 months, and if I charge you more, why do you think you'll pay? You don't. Okay, maybe you check for better service, where better learning, where you get, right? Why do you think someone will do that? Okay, it's because they feel that once the course is over, they may, in their current organization, they can move wherever, whatever the dream position. Okay, why do you basically join? If you learn, you will get job somewhere else. Okay, wherever you want to move, you can move, upload your resume, whatever the process you have, you can ask for the packages they are expecting. Okay, so this is how it is. So basically, now here in DevOps, you have something called GitHub. Okay, GitHub, we learn all that. Okay, what is GitHub? See, GitHub, Kubernetes, everything will be coming into picture. We will learn all that now. Okay, so now see here. Okay, so basically we will learn something called Git here. Okay, so I'm talking about this, you see my screen. And Jetkins also, guys, Git and Jetkins. Okay, once these two tools, Gits and Jetkins are over, there are lots of organizations where build and release activities are automated via these tools, Jetkins and GitHub. Really, really important. So if you are proficient with Git and Jetkins alone, you can upload your resume actually. Okay, and there is a possibility that we can you can get job, you can resume, you can upload your resume and you can get job actually. Okay, we'll be working on something, like Docker and Kubernetes. It's also, it is having very good market. Okay, by the end of 7-8 weeks, something like that, you can have entire Git, Jetkins, Docker, Kubernetes, everything. Okay, so you have all, don't worry, next 2-3 weeks are really going to be very crucial. Okay, so we will be working on something called Ansible also. Remember this Ansible. Now your resume is having all things skills together. Okay, all these skills together, like this is until the entire software is released, bits and pieces, like how we do. So you have everything, whatever is important functionality, it is done right the end of the deploy the functionality. And he can, you can start generating revenue, for yourself. Okay, you can go for it. Okay, just look at my screen here. Now we are going into actual definition part here. Why we are discussing all this stuff, you will understand in 2 minutes. Okay, just wait. At the moment, please look at my screen. Okay, I told you that generally the time duration is 2 to 4 weeks for creating a particular functionality, testing it and delivering it to the client. Now just imagine, these for 4 weeks, 2 weeks are totally coding activity, guys. Okay, just imagine 2 weeks have gone, like first 2 weeks would be it's a coding activity. Okay, the application is being created using .NET. So developers are working on creation of .NET code. The next 2 weeks are going to testing release activities. Okay, something like this. Maybe it's not as it is, but something like this we can plan. 2 weeks it's for a deployment, and remaining 2 weeks is for testing and release activity. So which simply means release activity, so which you can work on this alone functionality. Okay, uh, once it is finished, you can take the, for example, the next 2 weeks is testers working or some other teams, okay, which are released to the production team, okay, the delivery team, they are doing some work. Okay, now if I ask you a question, what will the developers do in these 2 weeks? What are developers will be doing? Hope you understanding. We are saying that the first 2 weeks itself, okay, developers have finished the coding activity for the loan functionality. Now testers are working on testing it, to test it, right? And few other things are happening. What will the developers do in this time, in this period? Do you think organization will say developers, okay, you don't do anything, just wait? No, obviously developers will start working on the second functionality, create, in this case maybe creating cards functionality. Now here comes the problem. Okay, now here comes the problem. What is it? The problem is, imagine the testing team has tested this application for maybe 1 week, and they came with the conclusion that the application is entirely defective. For example, in this scenario, the client was asking for something, and these people have created an entirely defensive product, right? So that the testers, what they will do, they will revert back to the developer, and developers are supposed to fix the issue if there is any issue that comes while in the testing phase, obviously, right? So everything, like everything from the scratch, you need to test it again, everything from the scratch, like creating everything from the scratch. But already developers have started working on the second functionality, right? In this case, almost 1 week of the work has happened. Okay, almost 1 week work has happened. So second functionality, now you can imagine simple plan for common sense, if you started already on second activity, how will you go back, right? You can imagine. For example, see here, the version controls is what will be coming into picture. Okay, now there you go. In within git you have version controls, and these things we will be learning here. Okay, these are really important. So basically here, Jutkins, I told already, Bamboo, these things are really important. We are going to learn all that basically. Okay, and you need to set up the environment as well. Environment setup also we will do. Okay, git is are going to I mean, and we actually start about git tomorrow. I mean the next class, how git works, what are the things are really, this is just a demo sort of a thing. This is just a demo, you can understand that. Okay, so we will understand, we will start git in the next session actually. Okay, now you also build the tools. Okay, you build tools like this, couple of points, and Ansible. Okay, we'll learn all these things here. Ansible, this entire things will be covering in AWS. Okay, this is all part of DevOps, guys. Okay, believe me, when you start learn, you'll enjoy it, and it is pretty much easy for you to understand all that. Okay, this is all comes under will be covering under the AWS actually, right? So okay, basically all you aware, I mean, you all know that, right? Organizations maintain teams for testers, for other people, developers, you know, and AWS teams are also will be they're working on a different things actually, right? Now all of you, who create automation testing scripts, they're working different. Selenium people, they'll be working in a different and AWS, of course. Again, that coding team will be working in a differently. Deployment team is working in a different environment. Okay, if it is, I mean, then maybe you have to, stagging environment in between for any specific conditions here. Okay, now here, and one more thing you have to remember, Jetking is also part of our free training. Okay, Jetking also part of it, and we will integrate with version controls system, such a way that the moment the developer puts some code into server, immediately Jetkins will get notification that developer have made some changes. Okay, this happens generally, you know that, right? And here, this is what I was talking about. Generally, when you do all that, it takes time for us, like 4 to 5 weeks. Okay, so why it will take so much time is because it depends on the activity that we are performing, right? Jetkins actually automatically deploying into a testing environment, guys. The same Jetkins will pick up the automation test script, okay, which is created by testers. It will execute and it will check whether the application is working fine or not. It is not. If it is not working, what Jetkin will do is it send the automated notification, email notifications to the team members. Okay, developers will fix the bugs and upload the modified code into the version control system immediately. Jetkins will again download the code, trigger the build process, create a new artifact. Okay, this is the general process what happens here. Now, one single automation tool called Jetkins is performing that activity. For example, like this is just one tool. Okay, Jetkin. This is just one tool in DevOps. In the entire DevOps tool chain, we have Jetkins is one. Like this, there are so many tools. Okay, we'll be learning. Don't worry. We'll be learning so many. Okay, and probably for 2 weeks, right? In this we will be learning DevOps. Jetkins will do this complete flow. We will understand the complete flow actually. Okay, that much will be understanding easily, like Bamboo to the business, Bamboo continuous in like integration, integration, and also we'll also try and show you some of the videos also. You can watch these videos at any point of time. Okay, the third one that I'm going to cover is very very important, the environment setup. Okay, environment setup. See here, MySQL also we will be learning, which is a database environment. And for this environment setup, we will be learning two different tools. One is called Vagrant and other one is Docker. When I say Docker, please understand the meaning of Docker. Okay, Docker and Kubernetes. This is the maximum part of the course we will be covering. I mean, like we'll spend almost 30 hours. Okay, more to understand this Docker. Kubernetes, Docker and Kubernetes. Okay, and this is also the SQL, the database that you will be learning. Like, see, you go to YouTube and you can browse here also Docker by, you have so many, but you can just refer if you want this. Okay, so based on your convenient, based on your understanding, you can refer you want, and you have create other other YouTube channels also, which will give you better idea. See, this is what we are we learn basically, so you can just refer. Okay, you can refer this like this. Now, some of the sessions have been already there, you can check that. Docker, so just watch this, videos, whatever you want, you can just refer. You, not only these, I've just shown you whichever I have here, and if you feel something else, you can just check on the YouTube. Okay, uh, this is all maybe in 1 hour you can try and cover. Okay, like if you check each and every, like Ansible also I was talking about, right? So just once you watch those videos for a better understanding, right? If you feel that we did not go really depth, because see here today we are not going really deep, because this is just a demo, kind of demo, right? So I'm not going into deeper at the moment. Okay, you can watch those in YouTube for more understanding. And we also said that we'll be covering tools called Ansible, right? I told you sometime back Ansible, which is also part of our session. Okay, Ansible, see here, we'll be learning all that. And now Ansible, imagine you are a Linux admin or Windows admin. Okay, I give you a Linux server and I say on this server you install some software application like this. Okay, smart card or JBoss or Docker. Okay, whatever. And you, to do that, you are taking 1 hour time, for example. Okay, you're taking 1 hour time. So if you're taking 1 hour, now I give you 10 servers. Obviously, do the same activity on 10 servers, that will happen, you require more amount of time. Obviously, if one server you take so much of time, 10 servers you take a lot of time, right? Require more number of systems, right? Now imagine the scenario where you are working on data center, like this data center, where there are thousands of servers here. Okay, thousands of servers are uh, and you have thousands of servers. Currently I'm working for a client known as Blackboard, and manage more than 3000 servers of background. We are just a team of elegant people, like working with the 3000 servers for the Blackboard company. How is it possible? How it is possible that many servers can maintain by just 8 people? It is not possible. We use configuration management tools, such as configuration management tool, like we call the tool, I mean the configuration management tool called as Ansible. Okay, so you just do the configuration on the servers, and this will affect 3000 servers or 30,000 servers. It can be presented geographically in a different places. Okay, so that is what it is. Okay, now different locations, wherever it is. Okay, it will be helpful in India or outside India, whatever. Some servers are, in our case, in some, in other places, wherever you have these configuration management tools, you do it on the machine. It will do on the any number of n number of machines basically. Okay, so if you just understand what we were talking about, and here the the scripting like Python will be coming into picture. Okay, and here we are also going to learn about Python as well in this demo. Okay, so Python, right? It's really important and the demanding subject actually in the market. Okay, you can. I mean, we learn that as well. If you are coming from any of these domains, I mean, if you are a tester or with 6 years of experience or 5 years of experience, automation testing will not help. Okay, you will go forward in career, you have to come into this kind of technology. You are working on middleware or you are working on a database administrator, you are working on VMware, they are moving from visualizations to container visualization Docker. So similarly, middleware engineers, system admins, these engineers, system admins, Windows admins or Linux admins, these are the people who are actually getting affected because of DevOps. Understand that. If you are from any kind of background, common sense is that best step to take your to take your career forward. Now if you are coming from some other background, let's say that you're a developer, it's a fine. If you're a developer, that's fine and it's okay. I won't say that it is mandatory for you to learn the DevOps, get the experience and all that. Having it's a huge experience, okay, then it is fine, it's okay. But a developer with 4 or 5 years experience, it's okay. Even without knowledge of DevOps tools, the time being, you people can manage. Okay, DevOps tools does not require any kind of coding knowledge, remember this guys. But these tools are slowly moving into Python here, automation, which is a automation. So what we will do is, in part of our course, in part of our learning, whatever we are learning, right, we will cover Python also here. That is why. Okay, starting from in the scratch, everything will start from the scratch, don't worry. We will start from the scratch, understand how Python scripting works. We will be seeing how we can use Python script for automating these tools. Okay, simply learning Python will not help us, because we are trying to work as a DevOps engineer, right? Once the course is over, obviously you might be planning to put some experience on the tools, go for a job, right? To go for a job, right? Huh. So when you are going for an experience, they will ask you. If you say the question, okay, they'll ask you the question. Tell me, what kind of tools have you worked on, and how did you use Python for automating Jenkins, for example? Okay, tell me some use cases. How did Python help you in Docker? Okay, so how do you talk about for example, talk about some of the challenges that you have taken while you are working while you're in Python or Docker, in the especially Python scripting, right? So these kind of scenarios we will be seeing as the sessions progress. Okay, it's not mandatory, it's part of the, it's just part of course. We do it only on the weekends. Okay, don't worry. If you want mandatory to learn this, you can improve your knowledge even without knowledge of Python also. People are getting jobs, don't worry. Okay, so don't worry about that. It is an added advantage, basically it is an added advantage. So we felt that let's cover the Python session also. Okay, it's an added advantage always. This will definitely help you in future, because it's the course. Okay, you know we'll be starting everything from the scratch. I'm sure, irrespective of which kind of background you people are, you'll be able to get a job. Generally we don't recommend the job for freshers. Okay, only basically people, I mean, just experienced professional. Okay, don't have freshers, no openings at the moment. I don't mean that DevOps is really important. I mean, freshers have no opportunity at the moment for freshers, but the market is generally not only for DevOps. Any technology, the market will be generally, uh, I mean, for good profiles with an experience, putting more than 3 years experience, for example. Okay, 2 years also it's okay, but for freshers, students at the moment, we don't say that. If you have in the market, we don't have at the moment openings for freshers. Okay. mm, Willing to give you a reference. If anyone, you can just try for it, and go with DevOps. Otherwise, uploading your resume as a fresher, I don't think it will help you at the moment. Try and get some experience. You will not get some, you'll get, basically you don't get number of calls. Okay, if you go with a fresher, you people might not get. Okay, we have calls actually, but there is market only for the experienced resources. Okay, but they are saying, if the recession hits the market, what will happen? Forcing cost cutting, organization want to remove staff. Okay, we see that DevOps is one such practice which is, helping people, organization to remove their staff and blah blah, all these things. But don't worry at the moment. Okay, so people who have knowledge of automation tools like DevOps, or people who are good with the cloud knowledge, okay, like AWS cloud or Microsoft Azure, these are the these people are ones who will be, they always have a huge demand. Don't worry. Okay, so I would say that, I mean, all of us have that fear, like, going, what is going to happen in the market, the next job market, do we get it or not, and all that. Okay, so don't worry at the moment. The IT market crashes. Okay, the people for whom they would be looking, either people who are having good knowledge on cloud technologies or DevOps related automation. Okay, so this is the, right skill, right time. Okay, to learn DevOps. Okay, if something goes bad, if something goes, wrong in the market, right, still you'll be able to, work on it. So that's about the basic introduction. Okay, that's about the basic introduction. And because we actually, in our sessions, we talk about all this interact. Let's have this interactive. You can ask me, and we can ask me questions. But just to avoid, just to avoid the uh, background noise, we may, I may keep you guys on mute for some time. It's a best thing to all of you to learn, because whatever you do, as a database admin, Ansible will automate. Ansible will automate it basically. Okay, so anyhow, that was the basic explanation about I wanted to give you on one thing. Generally people ask me, I mean, one thing that people ask me is, I'm spending so much time, trying to learn DevOps. What is the guarantee that I will, get job or remain in the market? So it's a general question, right? When I'm putting so much of effort of all, if I learn DevOps after 3 months, okay, or 4 months, this just passes away like a fade. Okay, it goes away. Then what is my situation? Now the answer for the question is, I just, I'm putting a counter here, a counter question here, guys. Okay, answer me here. Um, as days go by, years by, do you think competition in the market will increase or decrease? Obviously competition will increase. When competition is increased, don't you think the faster delivery will, become mandatory? It is. Faster quality, okay, delivery of software will become mandatory if you want to survive in the market. Okay, I'll give you a best example. Okay, another simple example. See here, I am from India. Okay, so because of that, I'll be, taking, I mean, taking the context in the Indian, uh, maybe the context that I'll be giving with the Indian accent, you can put this example your respective countries. Okay, so friends, see here, um just imagine sitting in India. What are the big e-commerce chains in India in e-commerce? Okay, we have Amazon, right? Flipkart, and few other sites also have their presence. Now now we know that Amazon people generally, for Indian festivals, they give some offers. They call it as a Amazon big deal, big billion days, whatever they call it as, right? Something. And they give some offers, so that so just imagine, in another 4 days or 5 days, Diwali is there, right? And for Diwali, Amazon people have given some offers. Amazon people have given some offer. The competitors for Amazon, like Flipkart or some other, some, something else, they also want to give some offers, because that will happen generally. The competitor will be, also coming into picture, right? If only Amazon people are coming up with offers, all the customers will flock Amazon. Flipkart and those people will not have any customers, right? So Flipkart, seeing that Amazon is giving some offers, Flipkart is calling its own team of engineers, and they are saying, okay, another 4 days, okay, another 4 days or 5 days, we are having Diwali. See, these Amazon people are giving some offers on some products. They will tell to their employees, Flipkart, right? Let us also, and on some more offers, let us also give some more offers and some other products, so that we can drive the market in our directions. So it was decided, and developers have started making charges on it. Application according to the requirement. Then it went to a testing. Testers have tested the 1 or 2 days. Then it went to a delivery. The delivery team also took another 1 day, 1 or 2 days, right, for deploying it. What will happen? Diwali will come and go away, right? So in this kind of scenario, the computation of you want to survive, delivering the software on time is mandatory, right? And that is what DevOps is actually, DevOps is actually taking place here. Okay, so the days gone by, the market for DevOps will be there always. Will be, as the days progress, market is always there for DevOps. Okay, and if you want just to spend this time watching some other Docker videos on YouTube, you can do that. You will get mm, you will get a much more better understanding. Anyhow, first 2 weeks we'll need to understand uh, more about the DevOps, Docker, GitHub, and all that, right? So just come and see whether understanding or not. Okay, so this is just a kind of demo, right? If you guys feel, if you have anything to ask me, basically, see, irrespective of which kind of educational background you people are coming from, whether it is IT, non-IT, okay, um, experience, all these, you can expect job 100%. So we generally say that uh, if you are willing to put 3 years or 4 years experience, you can get job, because for freshers, market is not really good at the moment. Okay, so this is how it is. Okay, so ultimately, guys, Python and other Ansible, also we spoke about Ansible, GitHub, okay, and Docker, everything we are going to learn here. So these are some of the significances and mm, These are all the things that you will be learning when it comes to entire DevOps course. Okay, so each and every session I will be explaining you in detail. Okay, so please do not miss any session. This is just a demo. Okay, and next couple of weeks are really important, and we will understand someone who doesn't know anything about DevOps, someone who doesn't know anything about Docker, someone who doesn't know anything about Kubernetes. Okay, if you have zero knowledge on Git Bash, right, GitHub, right, so everything we are going to learn from scratch. Okay, so that's all for today, and we'll catch up in the next session, guys. Okay, thank you.